Right. So Oprah has been subpoenaed by a judge in a defamation lawsuit. So Drew Dixon, who is one of the women that accused Russell Simmons of sexual assault, she filed a defamation lawsuit against him because she said that Russell Simmons defamed her when he went on an interview and said that her back in 2023 and said that her claims were not valid and were not real. So during that time, remember, Oprah was working on this like whole documentary about everything that was happening with Russell Simmons and the accusations and all that stuff. And then she decided to step away. When Oprah stepped away, Oprah said she stepped away because she, through their research for this thing that they were doing, she found some inconsistencies in some of the women's claims that she felt like weren't properly addressed in the doc. And she also included, she mentioned that when it came to Drew, she felt the same way as well, that there were some inconsistencies, although she did say that she believed parts of what Drew was saying, right? Now, fast forward, Oprah's being dragged into court. They want her to submit books, records, papers, data, documents, evidence, different evidences, writings, and anything else tangible as described in this subpoena. Now, it's not specific to like what those things have to apply to. So, like, is this stuff in relation to that documentary that she's no longer doing, or what it is? But I am like almost 98% sure that it would be that, because what other tie does Oprah have to any of this Russell Simmons stuff and this defamation situation? Because when Russell Simmons was talking about the defamation stuff, he was specifically talking about how, Oprah backed away because of these inconsistencies. Basically, because of that, that's proof that these women are lying. They gave Oprah a March 18th deadline to adhere to all of this. They also said that she could be deposed, which would probably be recorded if so, which is why they sit down and they ask her a bunch of questions. And there's no word yet if Oprah has complied to the subpoena or like what has happened from either side. But she is being dragged into all of this. And she stepped away from the documentary, I feel like, because she wanted to not be dragged into all
It'll probably
this.
be very simple. They probably using her name because she is a name to shine some light on it. They'll ask her a bunch of questions and Oprah will be like, that is my team that produces these documentaries. I don't actually go out there myself. And that'll be it for Oprah.
Harpo? Who this woman?
I said that'll be it. Very simple.
That documentary that she was producing, it was going to be called On the Record. It was going to address, like I mentioned, a number of women's accusations against Simmons at the time. But she said
how long ago was that?
That was a while ago. This was back 2023.
It was that? I thought it was farther back than that.
I'll look it up, the actual date of when all that.
Because Drew Dixon came on. She was on the Breakfast Club, right?
Drew Dixon came out a while.
Yeah, she was on the Breakfast Club.
Drew Dixon came out with her claims in 2017.
Yeah.
But and then she said that everything that happened, she alleged that everything happened with her and Russell back in '95.
I think she did a one-on-one with Ye up here, I believe.
Oh, got you.
Yes. Yeah. So her attorneys are subpoenaing are trying to subpoena Oprah. So if more comes out there, we will be talking about it here because I'm very interested to see what it is that she gets from the subpoena. Now, another person that is going to be in court soon, Kim Kardashian. So Kim Kardashian is going to be headed to court. She, according to TMZ, will have to testify in that Paris robbery. You guys remember when she was robbed in Paris of all that jewelry?
Yes.
Yeah, so she's supposed to be taking a stand in that. So sources with direct knowledge told TMZ that the trial will happen in May in France, and she is set to testify. So in 2016, when
I said that felt 10 years ago too.
Yeah, I don't know why this took so long. Yeah, I have no idea why this took so long. This was back in 2016. Remember, she was at the time, Kim Kardashian, when they came into her hotel room in Paris, they tied her up. They took a bunch of her jewelry at gunpoint. For those who do not remember, they forced their way inside of an apartment that she was renting for Fashion Week and held her hostage. And they took $10 million worth of jewelry and a huge ring. Like one of the rings, I think was worth I know it was worth $4 million. Now, this has been investigated for 5 years, and now they're ordering it into a trial. I don't know why this
trial
took so
for
long.
what?
I thought they found the jewelry. They found the
I have
jewels.
no
I thought these
idea.
dudes been
Open
in
and shut
jail
case.
already.
Yeah.
I have no idea. And Kim has already talked to a judge about this. She gave an account of what happened, blow by blow. But now she's getting the opportunity to tell a jury. There'll be 12 people that will, be on the jury, and it'll be interesting, I guess, to hear what Kim has to say. And I remember that being like a very emotional time for her as well, because she was there. I think it was like a security guard that was with her, but like wasn't with her at the time, so she was like by herself, super scary. So we'll be hearing about that as well too. Again, I do not know why this took so long. Have no idea. Yes. And lastly, in exits, Garcelle. Garcelle is leaving Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Garcelle Bouvet?
Yes, Garcelle Bouvet.
Oh, y'all heard about this? I know y'all are you, Lauren, and just love the reality show. That's what I'm asking.
I'm not really into Beverly Hills.
I was about to say, it's crazy. I'm not really into Beverly Hills either. I only tuned in a little bit because Garcelle got brought onto the show, and they brought her on because they needed a black person. They did. Like Beverly Hills was very
white.
Well, now they
Yes.
have two.
Yeah, now they have two because Bozeman St. John is there as well. But Garcelle actually made history. Like, I started watching the show because it was so white. She was the first black woman to join Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, like, since it started in 2010. And when Garcelle stormed off of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, there's like a trailer that they just dropped. I kind of knew something was up, but I don't know. I just feel like it's just so abrupt. Her cast members were kind of saying the same thing too. But let's take a listen to what she says and why she says she's leaving.
Hey guys, so I have some news. I've decided to leave Beverly Hills. It's been a wild ride. I mean, some amazing things have happened and some hard things have also happened, but it's been a ride nevertheless. One of the reasons why I'm leaving is my family, my boys. Their last year of high school is next year, and I want to be a part of that. And secondly, I have the most exciting projects that I am developing, producing, and acting in. I can't tell you anything right now, but you'll know soon. Thank you to Andy Cohen, to Bravo, and of course the ladies. Andy Cohen says I can come back anytime. The door will always be open, so you never know. I might pop back in sometime.
I respect it. You got to know an exit, especially from those reality shows.
I don't know.
How long she been on there?
She's been on there for a while.
Yeah, let me see what year she came on there. I don't know if I feel like it's her time to exit, though.
You ain't her, Lauren.
No, I'm not
And
saying...
you don't know in the league.
No. You're right about that. You were on point today. Honestly, we shouldn't even say that I was filling in this morning because I am here just assisting my sis as she needs it.
That's right.
But she joined the cast back in 2020. It was during all the pandemic stuff.
Oh, so 5 years.
Yeah.
That's a good run. And yo, them shows are very taxing.
They are. Because
Take
her
a lot of your
family,
life,
they was coming for her kids. But she on the show, though, she stirs the pot. Like, she knows what she be doing. But I think that she is a great asset to the show. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't really know.
You got to know when to exit. Listen, Portia knew when to exit, and
But
she
she
also
went
knew when to
back.
came. But she knew when to come back. She needed a break for a little bit to go do some other things, and then you come back. I respect it.
Well, I will say, when Nene left Real Housewives of Atlanta, I felt like we knew what was coming. We felt it with this one. And again, I'm not religious Housewives of Beverly Hills, but it caught me by surprise. It definitely did. And as we wrap, I do want to mention, because Charlamagne, I know you about to dip real quick. Kendrick Lamar's halftime show, they got 125 FCC complaints, and some of them were
All white people.
How you know?
It
All
seems
white
like it should have been more. Only 125. It seems like that's normal.
I guarantee you it was a bunch of angry white people all over the country mad about the symbolism, mad it was too many black people. They probably was calling the police.
They were mad that Kendrick Lamar had a potty mouth. They were mad that he only used black performers, that he was being divisive with his set.
Yes.
125 doesn't seem like a lot.
Several making note that the split American flag visual at one point, of the split American flag visual at one point that he did with all the black people when they came together and they were the American flag. People were very upset about him grabbing his crotch.
By the way, that's to Envy's
Crotch,
point.
you could say. Crotch.
When you
Grabbing
got
his crotch.
how many people watched that show? 80 plus million.
Yeah, only 125.
That's not a
like-
lot of complaints at all for 80 plus million people to watch.
Now, at least 10 of them were upset for Drake. They said, one person even went as far as to say that he used the moment to focus on a personal vendetta.
Okay. So that was Chubbs, Baca, OVO, Eli, 40, Drake's mom. Who else called? 5 more people.
But to put in perspective, when Janet Jackson did the Super Bowl, they got 542,000 complaints.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So 125 complaints ain't nothing.
Like dropping a clues bomb to Kendrick.
Yeah.
Okay. You need more owls.
One thing they didn't complain about them jeans. These jeans was a great situation.
Oh my goodness.
Them jeans, wow. Kendrick.
All right, Charlamagne, who you giving your donkey to?
We need Mike Walters to come to the front of the congregation. We'd like to have a word with him, please.
Who that is?
The National Security Advisor.
All right, we'll get to that next. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Check out video of the full show on Tubi. Free. Classic interviews and more on Tubi every day, all day long, all for free. Just search Breakfast Club and grab your popcorn.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.